You've been lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. And your brain is doing that thing again, isn't it? She's right there. But something feels different. She's been a little quieter. A little more intentional. A little more, I just happen to be in the room where you are. And you're wondering, bro, you've been wondering for weeks, is she actually falling for me, or am I about to embarrass myself by reading this completely wrong? Here's what nobody explains. Most guys miss the signs of real obsession because they're looking for the loud version. The obsessive texts. The jealousy. The "I can't live without you" declarations. But real obsession doesn't sound like that. It looks like a woman who's suddenly paying attention in ways she never used to. Quieter. Steadier. Closer. And she won't say a word about it because saying it would ruin the feeling she's protecting. You're not delusional for noticing. You're not overthinking. You're just finally paying attention to the right things. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to read her, not her words, but her patterns, her attention, her nervous system, so you never miss what's actually happening again. Let's get into it. Before we go through the 7 signs, sit with this for a second, man, because this is the part most guys never learn. Most guys believe that if a woman is obsessed with them, they'll know it. She'll say it. She'll act different in some big obvious way. They'll feel the shift. But the real truth is, the more obsessed a woman is, the quieter she becomes. The more intentional her attention gets. The more she starts showing up in moments she never used to value, not because she's trying to impress you, but because she's trying to be near the thing that's making her feel something she hasn't felt in a long time. Her nervous system is reading you before her logic catches up. Her attachment patterns are bending toward you in ways she can't even explain to herself yet. And every single sign you're about to learn is really just one woman, doing the only thing she knows how to do when something in her starts to wake up. She's turning toward you, slowly, carefully, and almost certainly without saying a word about it. Now let's get into the 7. 1. She starts remembering the small things you forgot you said. Most guys hear "she remembers everything" and think, cool, she listens. But here's what nobody explains. When a woman is becoming obsessed with you, her memory of you starts working differently. She's not just retaining information. She's filing you away. Somewhere between her conscious mind and her nervous system, you're becoming important in a way that makes everything you say feel like something worth keeping. Here's the part most couples never figure out. Beneath the surface, she's not remembering because she thinks you're impressive. She doesn't even register it as a choice. Her brain has quietly reclassified you as someone whose words carry weight, and her physiology is now treating the things you say like items she needs to keep safe. That's attachment. That's obsession forming in real time. This is what turning toward actually looks like in its earliest stage. Think about it like this. You mentioned 3 weeks ago that you were thinking about taking a trip to Portugal. Just an offhand thing. You didn't even remember saying it. And then last night she casually asked, "So when are you actually booking Portugal?" That's not small talk. That's her brain quietly telling you, "I was listening the entire time, and I was hoping you'd actually do it." Compare that to the woman who replies, "Oh yeah, cool," when you tell her what you care about, and you start to feel the difference immediately. And when you start noticing this and really seeing it for what it is, something in you softens, bro. Because it turns out the most validating thing a woman can do isn't tell you she loves you. It's proof she's been listening all along without you ever asking her to. 2. She creates random reasons to be in your space. Here's the one most never figure out. Most people in relationships think that when a woman wants you, she'll find a way to tell you. She'll be direct, flirty, obvious. But the truth is way more interesting than that. Real obsession makes a woman territorial before it makes her verbal. She doesn't say, "I want to be around you." She engineers reasons to be in the same room. Real, specific, slightly invented reasons. What's really moving through her, beneath the surface, is this. Being near you is starting to feel like something her nervous system needs, not just something she wants. So she builds the architecture for it. A charger she needs to borrow. A recipe question she just thought of. A meme she saw and immediately thought of you. None of it is random. All of it is her quietly drawing a circle around you and finding every excuse to step inside it. Picture this. You're at your place on a Sunday afternoon. She was supposed to go home an hour ago. She keeps finding one more reason to stay. Oh, I left my jacket here. Wait, can I try that snack? I'll leave in like 10 minutes. She doesn't leave in 10 minutes. She doesn't want to leave. Not because she's being clingy, because being near you is the part of her day that has started feeling like the part. And when you finally understand that she's not being extra, she's being pulled. The whole way you see her shifts, and suddenly the space she keeps choosing feels less like something happening to you and more like something she's been deciding every single time. 3. She stops competing with you and starts coordinating with you. Not louder conversations. Not more compromising. Not scheduling a weekly check-in. But two people whose internal rhythms have started to sync up without either of them forcing it. This is the sign most men completely misread. Most guys take this as, she's just more chill now, or we're just in a better phase. But here's what nobody explains. When a woman becomes obsessed with you, she stops trying to win your world and starts trying to fit into it. Not in a people-pleasing way. In a this is where I want to be way. She's texting back faster. Remembering your schedule. Asking what time you'll be free without sounding like she's checking on you. She's constructing her day around the architecture of yours. And she won't admit it, because admitting it would mean admitting how much space you've started taking up inside her. Here's the part no one talks about. She's not doing this because she's lost herself. She's doing it because something in her has recognized you as safe enough to organize her inner world around. That's not weakness. That's her attachment system saying, this one. This is the one I'm building toward. You can see this clearly in contrast. The disconnected version is the woman who keeps you waiting, talks about you as an option, and answers your plans like she's running a scheduling audit. The connecting version is the woman who already knows your Tuesday night looks like, and she's quietly making space to be in it without being asked. And when you read that correctly, man, trust me, something in you starts to settle. You stop wondering if you've earned her attention, because she's making it clear, in every small coordination, that she was already paying it. For, she gets weirdly protective over small parts of your life. Most people in relationships think that protectiveness is something that shows up after years of being together. After commitment. After labels. But here's the real truth, and this is where it gets really interesting. Real obsession makes a woman protective of you before she has any official reason to be. She watches how people treat you. She listens to how you talk about your week. And if something feels off to her, even something she can't name, she leans in. Closer. Not with confrontation. With presence. And here's what changes everything. She's not being protective because she thinks you're fragile. She's being protective because something in her has decided you belong to her emotional world now, and her nervous system is treating anything that disrupts that world like a threat worth monitoring. That's not jealousy in the toxic sense. That's a woman whose attachment to you has crossed the threshold from interested to invested, and once a woman is invested, she starts guarding the thing she didn't even realize she was building. Look at the contrast. The disconnecting version is, oh, your coworker sounds annoying. And then she changes the subject. The connecting version is, wait, did that bother you? Because honestly, that sounded like it bothered you. One is observation. The other is her quietly saying, I've been paying attention, and I won't let something I care about be taken for granted. And when that hits you, really lands on you. The feeling it creates is hard to fake, bro, because it's the first time you've felt like someone is actually on your side in a way that doesn't require you to ask for it. 5. She starts sharing things she never used to share. And here's where most guys completely miss the moment. They expect intimacy to sound like a big conversation. A late-night talk. A vulnerability dump. But here's the part no one talks about. When a woman is becoming obsessed with you, the sharing gets smaller, not bigger. Strangers, family, old memories. The weird thing that happened in line at the store today. Little pieces of her inner world start showing up in your conversations like she's handing them to you without even realizing it. What's really moving through her, beneath the surface, is something like, I want him to actually know me. And what even she doesn't realize is happening is this: her attachment system is now treating you as someone safe enough to receive the unedited version of her. That's not a small thing. That's her nervous system rewriting who gets access to her real self. And she gave you that access without a single dramatic moment. You can see this contrast play out everywhere. The surface-level version is the woman who keeps her childhood stories vague, answers questions with jokes, and ends personal conversations with a quick redirect. The connecting version is the woman who, unprompted, tells you about her mom at 31. About the trip she took alone at 23. About what her dad said to her that she's still carrying. Not because you asked. Because she wanted you to have it. And when that shift happens, when she starts handing you the parts of her that she keeps locked away from everyone else, the relationship starts feeling less like two people coexisting and more like one shared house where she's leaving doors open she's never opened for anyone else. 6. She reacts to your mood before you say a word. This is the one most couples never figure out, and it genuinely changes how you see her once you understand it. Most people in relationships think emotional attunement is something you build over years of trust. But here's the real truth. When a woman is secretly obsessed with you, she becomes emotionally tuned to you way faster than either of you is ready for. She picks up your shifts before you speak. Reads your face across the room. Senses the heavier day before you mention it. And quietly, she starts adjusting the environment around you without making it about her. What nobody explains is what's actually happening beneath the surface. She isn't being a mind reader. Her nervous system has started tracking yours. Patterns you've never noticed: your breathing when you're tense, the way your voice flattens when you're drained, the specific silence you make when you're overloaded. She's been cataloging all of it without a single conversation about it. That's not a skill. That's obsession doing its quiet work. The contrast makes it obvious once you see it. The disconnected version is, you seem off. And she waits for you to explain. The connecting version is, hey, you look tired. Come here for a second. She doesn't ask what's wrong. She doesn't try to fix it. She just steps into the moment with you. What's running through her in that instant is something like, he doesn't need me to solve this, he just needs me to stay close while he figures it out. And when that lands, man, the shift inside you is real, because it stops feeling like your emotions are something you have to perform and starts feeling like they're something she's already made space for without you asking. 7. She stays when she has every reason not to. Here's the sign most guys feel but never know how to name. Most people in relationships treat staying as a default. You're together, so she stays. But here's what nobody explains. When a woman is obsessed with you, staying stops being a default and starts being a continuous choice. Not a dramatic one. A small one. Made silently. 100 times an hour. This is where it gets really interesting, because what she's actually doing is this: every time she could leave, every time she could check out, every time she could go quiet, every time the easier thing would be to pull back, she leans in instead. Not bigger. Just closer. Just quieter. Just one more moment. Just one more shot at being near you before the day is over. And underneath all of that is something her brain is quietly registering: what he's giving me is the thing I've been looking for, and I'm not ready to walk away from it yet. The connecting version is overwhelmingly easy to recognize. You had a long day. You weren't your best self. You gave her less than you meant to. And instead of getting the cold shoulder, the withdrawal, the silent punishment, you get her, voice steady, present, still right there. What's moving through her is something like, he's allowed to be human. I'm not going anywhere. That sentence, bro, is the entire foundation of a real relationship. And when you finally see this pattern for what it is: not habit, not obligation, but deliberate, daily, almost devotional choosing, the room changes. She becomes less like a person you're trying to figure out and more like a person who's been showing you, this whole time, exactly how she feels in every moment she didn't leave. This isn't a checklist, man. It's an invitation to show up differently, to start seeing her the way she's actually been showing up for you. Because when you finally understand that obsession in a woman doesn't always look loud or dramatic or easy to name, but quieter, steadier, and much deeper than you thought, the entire game changes. You stop chasing certainty and start recognizing what's already been happening right in front of you. Here's the line worth keeping, the one I hope you carry out of this with you: she's not keeping it a secret because she's unsure about you. She's keeping it a secret because she's not ready to lose what it feels like to be near you. And the moment you see that clearly, you stop waiting for her to confess, and you start becoming the kind of man she was secretly hoping she would.